As you probably know, I love decorative stitches, and you see that a lot on our Stitching Cosmos course, the one you can take with your Pfaff sewing machine, so click on the links below this YouTube video to find out more. But when you want to do satin stitching, let me show you a little trick. So for example, a lot of you think of satin stitching as just a zigzag that you shorten and get it really close together. Well, on this machine, there's actually an entirely separate stitch dedicated for satin stitching, meaning the zigzag can be brought closer together. See how I wasn't able to bring this all the way closed? It stops at 1.5, and that's because stitch number 9 is actually your satin stitch. Notice a foot 2A comes up as the recommended foot, and that is because that has a cutout on the underneath side to allow for those thicker stitches to flow out the back and not get hung up. So if we compare that to a standard presser foot, you notice that there's a cutout, but not very much. You also notice this is not a foot for IDT, meaning there's not a cutout. So do make sure that you immediately take and disengage the IDT from the back. That's the dual feed area. We also see that it recommends some stabilizers. So no matter what you're doing, these heavy stitches can kind of warp your fabric, and stabilizer will give you that added bonus you're looking for. The default setting, I will say, is wider than I usually need. So that is a wide satin stitch. So I usually will do a test and adjust it to the width that is what I'm looking for. Now the machine doesn't know what stitch, So the machine does not know what thickness of thread you're using. So you have now infinite control of the stitch length. So if you were using a little thinner thread, you might drop that down from 1.0 to maybe 0.8. As long as the fabric is still moving through the machine, you will get the results you're looking for. Now eventually it might get so thick that it won't move through, and don't try to push it. That just doesn't work out well. You just want to lengthen it so it still moves naturally through the machine. Now here is what you're looking for. When I started, of course, really wide, the stitch length, the default length, still a little open for me, but as I closed it up and got closer towards the end, I see a satin stitch that really looks bold and beautiful. So when you're working with the satin stitch, know that you can adjust your width, adjust your length, and make sure you're using stitch number 9.